Worst nostalgia trip ever taken. Worst nostalgia trip ever taken.
Welcome back. Junkie Pants Has Bad Taste. Here with me as always, good old Cerebral Paul. How you doing, Paulie boy?
Oh, like I'm here by choice. Will you stop letting people think that, okay? Send help. I mean, good to be here. Good to be here, yeah.
Behave. Don't let people know. So today we got a fun one. Today we're talking about a movie from 2005. Once again, I'm on a 2005 kick, because 20 years, sometimes movies you're like, really, that came out that long ago? We're talking about Red Eye, which is a Wes Craven movie, which at first you go, I like Wes Craven, this could be okay. And then this movie happens, and you're like...
I didn't check, but wasn't he just a producer? Wasn't he just a producer?
This was straight up a Wes Craven movie.
He actually directed this thing?
I have it in my notes that this was... Craven saw this as his first thriller movie, as he had only really been doing horror and wanted to expand his horizons.
Boy, did he drop the ball. Holy
shit. Apparently he wrote this and was like helping with directing it and was like, I want to do this thriller and I want to expand what I'm doing. And it's like, you should have just made it a horror movie, because jeez, man, like there's some issues with this movie we'll get into.
Yeah.
And a fun fact for everyone at home, a little lighthearted note. This movie released on the same day as The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Can you guess which movie did better?
Yeah. I will also say that I'm surprised Cillian Murphy still had a career after this movie. But
so you mentioned, did Wes Craven write this or direct it? So I actually have info on that in my show notes here. Carl Ellsworth was the writer for this movie. It was the first script he'd ever written.
Please tell me it was the last one.
What did he go on to do after Red Eye, I hear you asking at home? Oh, well, thank you. Well, this was 2005. 2 years later, he did Disturbia with...
That's with Shia LaBeouf, right? The
Thank you, Shia LaBeouf. I was picturing his face and his name escaped me.
Yeah, that was the play on Rear Window, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and then he also. This is what surprised me. He has one really good movie in his writing. I would have to assume that someone else helped him write it, because there's no way you're going to convince me this man wrote the next movie that he did, because it's the only good movie out of all the ones he did. The Last House on the Left remake, he's also a writer for. And I went, there's no way he wrote that, because the other movies he wrote all have so many issues. He had to have had help doing that one. Fuck off. Because he did The Last House on the Left remake in 2009. He then did Red Dawn remake in 2012. And then it gets really bad, because then he did Unhinged in 2020. That fucking terrible movie with the guy with the road rage trying to chase the mom. It was just a terrible movie.
Some of the shows, I'm looking at his credits. He also... he wrote 2 episodes for Xena, Warrior Princess. Wow. Godzilla the series, which I never understood the purpose of that shit. But
we'll have to ask Maverick, because I know his birthday just passed. So I know Anthony already handed it to him. Anthony bought him the entire DVD collection of that series. So I'll have to ask him.
Yes, and so it looks like mostly he came from TV, but yeah, he's not a. And then if you really think about it, Red Dawn was a remake. Last House on the Red Left was a remake.
Yes.
Disturbia Yeah, I would consider it a remake
Technically, yeah, technically it's a remake as well.
Right.
He's
And
also
I bet you if I really look into it, Red Eye could almost be considered a. I'm sure there's a movie back there somewhere.
well. Here's a little tidbit as well. Can you guess what he's scheduled to be? What he's actually currently helping write right now?
Oh dear God, that's going to be. I just looked at it. No. Oh dear God.
Gremlins 3, folks. He's helping write Gremlins 3.
Nope. Whole lot of nope.
Which,
of course, if you ask me, it can't be any worse than Gremlins 2. Okay, I mean, Jesus.
I'm very confused with the writers they're pulling for that movie, because especially this guy, because he only did horror movies, and I get Gremlins has like the horror element. But it's got like that like watered down PG-13 tone, which is not something he's done. So I'm like, who the fuck are they getting to write this movie?
I have to say, I would not mind a hardcore horror Gremlins with the little still the comedic overtone.
I would be a little okay with it if they had good writers. This is not an example of a good writer.
Well, and it shows them credited it shows them credited for screenplay. So. You and I both know the screenplay versus the final script versus what actually gets put on camera is, three totally different steps. Yeah.
Some other behind the scenes facts here. The bitchy customer of the movie was the head of DreamWorks marketing. Why they decided to have her be in there is don't know if that really helps your company. Also, the iced coffee spill that happens on Rachel McAdams was supposed to be a very tiny thing, and it kind of dumped all over her, and then Craven went, I like that take better. Just keep it. Just go wash it off. He said it was first thriller. The headbutt scene made Craven nervous because he just didn't want them both to be concussed, because he's like, it's a very small mark to make, and if he misses that, we're fucked on making this movie. So he was. I
have questions about that scene too. I have questions about that scene. So many questions.
Oh yes. Also, the plane scenes were shot 6 weeks straight. They were on a Mach 767 in Aero Hollywood. They had 60 extras who had to all maintain all their clothes and be on set for the entire shoot.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so
they
had to.
I have to admit, I wouldn't mind being an extra for 60 days. Union scale, baby. That's fine. I'll be there whenever you want me. For.
Well,
and I get to wear the same dirty, scungy clothes. Oh, perfect! I'm there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. This is Jokey Pants Air. We are taking off. It's a cloudy, rainy day here in Guam where I am. And your in-flight movie will be Red Eye from 2005, a Wes Craven movie starring Cillian Murphy, Rachel McAdams, and Brian Cox. The only names associated with this movie. Because everyone else is just kind of like they're a person. Anyway, so folks, our movie begins with a montage plan, and it's somebody stealing a wallet. There's a hotel. There's crates with some fish at a dock, and then people buying plane tickets, and it's just kind of all jumbled together. It doesn't make any sense until later in the movie, so don't even try to think of what the premise is going to be, because you're not going to think of anything.
And even then, it didn't make any sense. So
the fish crates is where I was like, is that where they... First of all, if that's where they got the thing they used later in the movie, why? Why? I have many questions, folks, because I want to reiterate, this is 2005. This is post 9/11. Things that are happening in this movie would not be allowed to happen. And a big example, so later in the movie, there's people who use a Javelin missile launcher to blow up the hotel. it implies they brought it in through the fish crates in the dock to get it to the people. Again, this is post 9/11. Not only were airports more strict, they were strict in every dock, every port, every airport. There was no way these people just smuggled a fucking javelin in a crate full of fish and nobody noticed.
Wait. All the problems in this movie, and that's what you zero in on. Okay.
There's many things like that in this movie, but that is the beginning of this movie. That is right off the bat. Like, that would go on. That would set off metal detectors. That would set off God only knows what that's there to detect weapons. Like, that's... No! This is Mr. Craven. This is 2005. This isn't the 90s. Some of your premise work here, just it's not how that would work. Anyway. So we go from there. We cut over to Rachel McAdams, who's Lisa. And she's trying to get to the airport because she's got a flight to catch. Because she was at a funeral for, what was it, her grandmother. So she's trying to head back home to Miami, and she's got a call to the hotel because customers need help, and she's the best at her job, but she's not there at the moment, so her assistant has to call her to then fix issues. And
I had that job once, not the hotel thing, but where I would go on vacation and my phone would start blowing up, and I'm like, vacation. My boss is going, what about this? I don't know. I'm 1,000 miles away. Go away. Yeah.
But she does. She helps them out. She gets customers their room. Because they have a reservation and they're being bitchy. This is the DreamWorks lady.
I know, ma'am. I'm just not seeing it.
Well, where's Lisa? Lisa always takes care of us.
I know, ma'am. She's out of town. Her grandmother passed away.
Cynthia, is it?
Yes, sir.
Would you get in more trouble if you bothered her or if I called corporate?
Okay.
Dallas drivers. Who taught you how to drive? Stevie Wonder? Don't worry, you'll still catch your plane. You got,
10 minutes. Lisa Reiser.
So she gets that all figured out, and she calls her dad, and her dad checks in on her and is like, hey, how you doing? You got your flight going? Yep. Do you want to stay here at home? I still got your room. Typical parent things. And then this is where they talk about it was the grandmother's funeral, and it's like, yeah, how you holding up? Yada yada. That phone call ends. She gets into the airport. Everything's all situated. She's trying to rush to get her shit done. She's reading Dr. Phil. It's just like, what a fucking random book to have a character reading is a self-help book by Dr. Phil that becomes an important plot point later. And I'm just
by the way, real quick, you must have missed, you might have missed it, but the husband of bitchy hotel woman is Robert Pine, who was the captain on Chips.
I did miss that. Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Thank you.
Toward the end of his career, apparently.
Lisa sees the most flights are being delayed and rescheduled and a whole bunch of things going on. So she's waiting in line to figure out what's going on. Old lady in front of her. This is where it becomes an important plot detail later, is that an old woman sees her reading Dr. Phil and goes, I love Dr. Phil. Can I read that? And she just hands it to her. And then the old lady's like, thank you.
Yeah.
But then they introduce Cillian Murphy because some dude gets super angry that the flights aren't doing anything, whatever. And Rachel McAdams tries to step in, being customer service that she is. And she's not getting anywhere with angry customer who's yelling at the airport staff. So then we get introduced to Cillian Murphy's Jackson, who comes in and just acts real creepy about it. He just has like a stare contest with the dude, and then the dude gets that vibe of like, you're not right, and gives up. This fucking movie. And then Jackson and Lisa start to talk. They kind of get to know each other. Like, oh, thank you for that. And blah, blah, what are you doing here? Oh, that's cool. Oh, waiting on the flight.
Yeah, we're in an airport. What do you think I'm doing here? I mean, you know, I just hang out at airports past security for my fun time, you know.
I mean, Jackson's not there for the reason he says. So I mean,
no, that's true.
I mean, so yeah, they get all the ticket thing figured out. Basically, their flight's delayed. She's gonna have to wait. This is where Lisa goes. She's standing. She goes to turn around to walk, and she gets somebody who runs into her with an iced coffee. It was again in behind the scenes notes. Apparently, that was supposed to be just a tiny spill and not the whole fucking cup of coffee. And then Craven was just like, "Fuck it, I like that take better." So she goes in. She gets cleaned off, which is only important that we do this whole setup so that she can then come out of bathroom to see Jackson sitting at bar and goes to sit with him and chat. Because we really got to hammer home that these two are going to be a thing of characters in this movie. And they couldn't think of another way to have the characters have a communication other than she gets covered in coffee and then sees him at bar.
Well, and it also continues to play into he just played her hero basically with the other irate guy. So there's that little play going on too, you know.
This is true too. True as well. So yeah, they sit at the bar. Jackson just starts flirting. He tries saying like if he can guess what drink she's gonna have. Fun fact, he already knows what drink she's gonna have and he drugged it. It's an important point later that they'll never fucking talk about.
I'm okay.
If I can guess.
Okay.
I'm feeling vodka. Definitely sweetened. Cosmo. No, way too common. Screwdriver. No. No, way too boring. So that leaves me with the simplicity of the grapefruit or the complexity of the pineapple. Grapefruit, sea breeze.
Could I have a Bay Breeze?
You got it.
Thanks. It's an impressive talent, though. Very close.
Yeah.
So anyway, she gets her sea breeze and she enjoys that. They chat. She tells him about the funeral and yada yada. And flight gets figured out. So Lisa heads off. She's like, "Oh, sweet, my flight's, I can board now. Great. It was nice chatting with you. Bye-bye." And Jackson also gets a phone call, so he's like, "Hey, that's fine." On the plane, Lisa gets all the way to her seat. And who's sitting in the seat next to hers? Oh, of course, it's Jackson, who somehow vanished and also beat her to the plane. Pretty sure he walked in the opposite direction, but okay, movie. He beat her to the plane somehow. I don't think he would have, but just as somebody...
He could have doubled back and kind of darted quickly. You know, maybe.
Anybody who has been in the airport, there's no way, shit, this woman didn't see this man. There's no way.
Well, yeah, especially when you figure, okay, so he got to the gate and on the plane while she took a direct path. Like, how? What?
Yeah. There's little things like that where it'll make you scratch your head and be like, but how? But they do exchange some lines here with Rachel McAdams going, "What are the odds?" And he's like, "Really small. Are you stalking me? Ha 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 ha. Don't question it. Sit." Anyway, so Jackson once again he starts flirting. He's just immediately like, "Oh yeah, you do flights all the time. You live around here. You going back home?" Like, just really trying to figure out this woman. But then he also gets another call, and we don't know anything about these phone calls yet, of course. But don't worry, they'll be super not really that fucking important later. So, Plane takes off. Lisa hates it. Apparently she doesn't do well with flying at all. Which,
Well,
fair. I hate it as well.
After this little story, she's never going to want to get on a fucking plane again.
I would never get on a... Yeah, I would never. Jackson just keeps trying to distract her with... just, hey, what did your grandmother do? What does your father do? What does your mother do? Just anything he can to just keep her from freaking out. And then this, folks, after they get in the air and they've been talking for a minute, this is where we get the reveal of what's actually going on with this whole movie. Like 15-ish minutes in now. Now we get, I'm just keeping your mind on your father. It's my job. She's like, oh, like counseling? Like you do, like you're a counselor? No, it's my job. She doesn't understand what he means. And then we get the whole reveal where Jackson informs her, yeah, so I have a guy sitting outside your dad's house and you're going to make a phone call for me. Because here's the premise, folks. Here's the needle drop premise of this movie.
That's right.
Okay, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Charles Keefe, one of your regular VIPs. Ring a bell?
No, should it?
Yes, it should, because right now he's on his way to your hotel, and that's why you need to keep listening.
No, I don't think I don't have to do that.
Yes, you do, if you want your dad to live.
Earlier, there was a news station thing about national security representative the councilman saying, or senator, whatever, him saying that they were going to crack down on the terrorism and whatnot. Because again, it's the only thing they mentioned that makes sense of being post 9/11. Because of this, Jackson tells her, yeah, he's staying at your hotel. You had to like figure out his room, right? Before you were getting on the plane? Yeah, you're going to go ahead and switch his room again. And you're going to put him in the room that I want him to. Or I'm going to call the guy who's sitting outside your dad's house. And then she doesn't believe him. So he puts the dad's wallet there. And he goes, yeah, no, my associate grabbed it for me. That's just to prove that we were there. So do that or your dad's going to die. So, of course, she freaks the fuck out. So, yeah, the premise of this movie is that terrorists are using her to make the senator be moved to another room so he can be assassinated so that he doesn't implement things that they don't want. But they don't really specify what things he's doing. Yeah. That's to your imagination what he might do.
I want you to think about this, though. Think this through. Okay, so because we don't want the Anti-Terrorism Act to go through, we're going to create an act of terrorism, which of course people are going to go, oh, never mind.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Don't want to do that.
It's the opposite of what would happen.
It's going to make them crack down harder. You think you have trouble going through the airport now? Shit.
Yeah, it's such a...
It's going to be the full body searches now with cavity. You know, it's like... Yeah.
It's one of those things where... On the surface, yeah, I get it. They'd want to get rid of the dude who's a problem. But the way that you're going to go about it would only make things worse. It wouldn't be a secretive he died in his sleep. Like, no, that one would be a blatantly, like, everything he was talking about needs to happen kind of thing. You wouldn't be solving your issue.
This is a Nakatomi Plaza. We're going to blow the top floor off the building. You know? Hey,
yeah,
nobody could have noticed that.
Yeah, that'll make them think twice. What stupid. Okay. So this is all going on. She's obviously freaking out. Jackson, trying to keep her calm, tells her that if she tells anyone what's going on or tries to get help, he's going to have to kill Dad and kill her, and it's going to be very unfortunate because that's not how he wants this to go. Flight attendant comes up, and Jackson covers for her, and he's all like, oh yeah, she's crying because she was at a funeral. Real sad. Can we get some water? Thanks. and nobody questions anything any further.
Let me just say, for one time in one of these movies, I'd like to go to somebody, if you don't do what we want you to do, we're going to kill your father. And they go, we weren't that close. I mean, really,
yeah.
He's 80, he's 81. I mean, he's had a good life. Yeah. And just, well, then what are they going to do? Shit. We got nowhere to go now, yeah.
With that, Lisa tries saying that she can't do it, that this is too much. And we just keep getting in the back and forth. She doesn't. She knows what's gonna happen. This goes on for the whole fucking, like, most of the movie. This is what's happening. It's just her saying she can't, and him going, "Do you want your dad to live?" And that's like most of the movie. I'm not gonna lie, folks. That's really most of this movie. There's not a whole lot of anything going on. She asks how her father could still be alive, because obviously, like, if you're going to hold the man hostage, how do I know you haven't already killed him? So he just tells her that he has to trust her, and he makes the comment of, "My associate's outside. He's sharpening his 12-inch K-bar, listening to smooth jazz, waiting for my call. A K-bar's a really big knife, in case you didn't know that." And I went, That's a really shitty way to, like, make someone convince. You don't have, like, a picture on your cell phone or something of, like, look, this is in the right. That's all.
Proof of life,
that doesn't ease them. Like, I'm pretty sure that put her more on edge.
Nowadays you just walk up like a phony Uber driver, go, "Here's your food." They go, "That's not mine. I didn't order that." Snap a picture and go, "See, he's still alive." Okay, got
exactly. There's little things like that where he's trying to make her do what he wants, but, like, that sentence, that issued statement there, that does not help put someone off edge. That's just gonna make her even more on edge. Like, what the fuck, my guy?
And I honestly think the exposition of the K-bar was more for the audience than it was for her.
Oh, 100%.
You're watching this movie and you go, "What the hell is a K-bar?"
100%.
Is that like a health bar or something, a protein bar? What are we talking about here?
It was 100% just an unnecessary line for literally just everyone in the audience. Just like, hey, idiots, this is what that is.
And I will point out that when he went into the house, he didn't pull a K-bar, he pulled a gun. I
think he had a knife, like, in his belt, but yeah, he pulled a gun. So, like, yeah, it's so fucking stupid.
Apparently, the right arm didn't know what the left arm was doing, because I could just see afterwards going, "We said K-bar, K-bar." Yeah.
So Lisa demands that she know her father's alive, like we've been saying. So Jackson does let her call her dad, but only for a brief moment. And the minute her dad starts to pick up on something's wrong, Jackson hangs it up. He's like, "Nope, no, you got to do our deal. And now you know he's alive. That's good enough." So yeah, she has to call the hotel. She's trying to buy time, trying to delay it, because she knows what's gonna happen. Especially when he tells her that they're gonna kill his whole family. Like, she's like, "Wait a minute, what?" And it's like, yeah, they want to send a message. I'm not one to judge what they want. I'm just the messenger boy. So she just keeps trying to delay it because she's a good person. She doesn't want to see a whole family get murdered.
I don't know if I'm that good of a person, personally. But,
Wow.
Well, it depends. I mean,
wow.
He's a senator. I mean, politician, yeah.
So the old woman that was in the airport, she comes back, and she wants Lisa's address so that when she finishes the book, she can send it back to her, because she doesn't want to keep something that's not hers, which, good on you. Not many people would actually do that. Many people would just be like, "Well, this is mine now." So, like, honestly, to the old lady, I have a little bit of respect for that decision, because I don't know many people that would actually go that far. Many people would just say, "This is my book now." So she tries to do that. When they were boarding, there was a woman who stopped at Jackson and was all like, "Oh, what a man." And he helped her put her bag up. This woman comes back because she needs Jackson to help get her bag for God only fucking knows what. But it buys Lisa just a little bit of time to go, "Yeah, I'll give you that address in your book, sure." And proceeds to quickly write the message of, like, something very bad is going on while Jackson is distracted. But of course, Jackson's not a fucking idiot. He knows what she's doing. Like, just immediately catches on.
Hello again. You know, I didn't think that this book would be so much work. And there's all these surveys about yourself before you can go on to the rest.
Could you wait 1 second?
My nails.
You know what? Don't worry about the surveys. I'll just highlight my favorite part.
Wonderful. Got it.
Great.
You are a lifesaver.
Would you give me your address too? I want to return the favor. Always breaking my nails on these things. I'm going to need your help to put it back up.
Through the aisle, please.
Oh, looks like...
I don't know what she thought was going to happen.
Where the hell did she put it in the book that the old lady didn't immediately see it? Okay. Also, was she writing a novel? I would just say, get help. The end.
Yeah, she keeps like, she's
maybe dog ear
and then
that
she
page.
hides it. But she'd like write a little bit, and then Jackson would look, and you'd see, and then he'd look away, and she'd start writing again, and it's like, yeah, it's like just HELP. That's all you need to do. You don't need to write out a whole shit. Jesus. So yeah, Jackson, when he gets back to his seat, as we said, he's not a fucking idiot like she seems to assume he is. And he's just like, yeah, so what did you write in the book? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, well, this is unfortunate. And then he headbutts her. Just fucking headbutts her.
Okay.
And no one notices.
I didn't want this to get complicated, Lisa. I have to assume she's gonna read that.
Read what?
What's she doing?
That was my question. Okay. I don't care. I don't care how busy anybody is. They're on a plane. It was relatively quiet. I mean, and he cold cocks her, and nobody, either the seat ahead of her or the seat behind her, goes, "What the hell was that?" You know, and then instantly, oh, she fell asleep. Bullshit! You just heard her talking a second ago. Okay.
Yeah, he just literally in the blink of an eye, you just get. No one notices that. No one hears that. And then on top of that, much like on my forehead.
Wait, real quick. I want you to realize something else too. I don't know if it dawned on you. Have you ever flown a red eye?
No, I have not. No.
One of the first things they do is they dim all the lights in the cabin.
Yes, actually, yes, I did.
Texas
to
notice,
Hawaii was a red eye.
Yeah. You'll notice they never, until much later in the movie, dim the lights in the cabin, which is BS, because I've flown enough late night flights to know that as soon as the doors are closed, we're doing the lights in the cabin. If you'd like to read, you can turn on your overhead light. That will allow people to sleep and whatever. This movie, if I was trying to sleep on that red eye, I ain't getting any sleep. Those fucking cabin lights were on for 90% of the flight.
Yeah.
Because if the lights were dim, then I can maybe excuse the headbutt. But
yeah, they were not. Secondly, much like myself, he has blood start running off of his forehead, and he just starts wiping it. Again, no one fucking notices any of this shit. They don't notice the headbutt. The fucking flight attendant walks up to him right after he wipes his forehead and never noticed the blood. How do you not notice a man wiping streams of blood from his forehead that he just cracked open? You were literally standing in front of the man. There's no
also
fucking way.
Also, again, any head wound like that is going to bleed much more profusely than it would anywhere else in the body because it's up toward the brain and the body says, hey, we're in trouble. We're going to get as much oxygen up there as we can. I mean, really, he should have been spurting forward. I mean, you know, yeah.
It's
it shouldn't have just been a
either
little
way,
drizzle. Oh my god! You
he
seen
shouldn't
a
have gotten
wrestler
away
when
with
they
any
cut
of
them
this.
when wrestlers used to cut themselves, you know, with a razor blade, how quickly they would be covered in blood.
Yes,
because the body just gushes. You know?
Yes, it does. It really does. God, they used to get so bloody. Anyway, so while Lisa's passed out, because he puts the pillow and then just like, she's sleeping, he gets up to go deal with the old lady and get the book. Because somehow the old lady apparently didn't read whatever she put in the book, which I feel like, especially, maybe it's just me, but if I asked for somebody to write something in a book, even if it's just the address thing, I would immediately check what they wrote so that I could make sure that if I'm getting their address, for instance, that I have all the information I would need so that then if I need that corrected, I can ask them, oh, hey, can you add blah, 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 or can you fix blah, blah, blah. The old woman just apparently sat back in her seat and just kept reading the book and said, fuck it. And I'm like, she didn't read anything that she wrote?
Nope.
The fuck?
And again, okay. Where did she write it? Did she write it to the last chapter?
Yeah,
so when the lady got to
the end,
no,
she had like the book help. Halfway open, so I have no fucking idea where she.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you notice,
that's something you put on the inside cover. You know, it's like not something you.
When you're watching this movie. When you're watching her writing the book, she has it like halfway open and it's just writing in the margins. It's like, what the fuck, lady? But while Lisa's passed out, Jackson shows that he has the Dr. Phil book. And he's just like, oh, this is interesting. I like this part right here about self-help and doing better. And for anyone wondering, he doesn't kill the old lady. She just kind of wakes up. But they also don't show you what he did. Because she looks confused as to why she's waking up. So I'm like, did he fucking headbutt the old lady too? And no one noticed.
Yeah.
Because she wakes up in a manner that's like, I don't think she fell asleep on her own. But that's also problematic of how the fuck did he knock her out? She's surrounded by other people.
Yep, and later, no, you heard going, where's my book? Somebody took my book. Anybody see my book?
It's like, what the fuck? Nobody notices shit on this tiny ass plane. So yeah, Lisa's passed out for 30 minutes. So Jackson says she has to make the phone call right now because now the timeline is.
Oh wait! But
the
after
deadline
she woke
is coming up.
But after she woke up, she's like, I know you have a headache, so I got you some aspirin.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be popping any pills that this guy gave me. I don't care how bad my head hurt. No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm all right.
Yeah.
She without question, she takes them. I'm like, what the hell, woman?
I forgot to say also, when she's first on the plane and she's first talking with Jackson in her seat, she gets a little lightheaded. And she brings up she had cheap wine at the funeral, but all she had was the sea breeze, and she's never had it hit her that hard. It's just heavily implied that Jackson, because he talks about later, he also talks about he'd been basically watching her for weeks, like he knows her routine.
Yeah.
He knew she was going to get the sea breeze, so it's implied he drugged it. But if he drugged it, he's a shitty fucking drug person because he didn't do enough to make her pass out or anything. So, what the fuck was the point of that, my guy?
Yeah. Because it didn't relax her at all or anything.
Yeah, it didn't do shit other than give her a headache and make her sick.
By the way, a sea breeze hitting her hard is not something that should ever happen. Okay,
no. That should be a red flag immediately. So he gives her the phone. She starts making the phone call. She does not get to complete the phone call because they run into a storm patch. So the phone cuts out. Lisa, being maybe one of the few smart decisions in a way that she's ever had, just tries to buy time and make it seem like she's making the call. Unfortunately for her, the people across from them also were trying to make a call. So Jackson sees that the phones aren't working, so her plan immediately fails. So again, Lisa, if you had just taken 2 seconds to look across the aisle, you would know that what you were doing meant nothing.
And if you've been on a flight, what are the chances you're going to see multiple people within eyesight of each other trying to use the Sky phone at the same time? But, you know,
never.
But it's all for the movie. It's only for the movie because, you know, I think I've only ever seen those Sky phones used once or twice ever, you know.
Yeah, so he hangs up the phone and he asks the flight attendant, and they're like, yeah, it usually breaks up when we go through a storm. Should be fine once we're through it. And he's like, well, that's unfortunate. And we're just going to have to wait for that then. And that's where he goes into the whole, he's been stalking her for weeks. And like tells her like, oh yeah, you mean you work at blah, blah, blah. And then you go here on Tuesdays and then here on Thursdays and then home on Fridays with a bottle of wine. And she's like, how do you know all that? He's like, what? Like, you think these people hire me to do this because I just don't know anything? Like, yeah, no, I've been studying you and your dad for like months. Like, I know your guys' routine to a T. Which also, so does that mean that for who knows how long, this senator or whatever was planning to go to this hotel for like months? To so much so to the fact that he knew it was the hotel Lisa would be at. My brain can't comprehend the details of this movie of how could you have planned so far ahead for things that could have changed at the blink of an eye, and you make it seem like this was set in stone. Especially because here's the thing, a political thing. He could change on the blink of a fucking eye on how his like campaign trail or how his whatever is going to go. He could say he's going to go here in 3 months. That could fucking change in the blink of an eye. Your plan goes out the window.
Yep.
It's little things like that, folks. Little things that's like in the greater aspect, like greater scheme, don't quite fit the story you're telling. Anyway, so Lisa says she has to go to the bathroom. So she gets up, she goes to the bathroom. Jackson's very cautious with this for obvious reasons. There's a little girl who gets up, and she doesn't like Jackson because she kind of sees right through that he's a bit of an asshole. So she doesn't really like him. While Lisa's in the bathroom, she does her thing, but then she washes her hands and she realizes the soap is super foamy. Almost like a marker. Now again, folks, this is, I want to reiterate for what is about to happen. This is 2005. This is post 9/11. She writes on the mirror that the plane has a bomb. Jackson knows she's taking too long, goes to the bathroom, and immediately sees what's on the window or on the mirror, and he breaks it and erases it, whatever. There was a little girl that was standing across from the fucking bathroom because when Jackson barges his way in, there's a flight attendant who helps the little girl go back to her seat, and the little girl says, but there's a man and a woman in there. How did no one see the giant white plastered there is a bomb on the fucking mirror when that door opened.
He smeared it over as soon as he saw it behind her.
He wipes it off when he gets in there. When he initially opens the door, he looks, sees that the little girl is right here because she tells them he went in with her. That's when he goes in.
Well, yeah, but I could see how she wouldn't necessarily see that. Well, the
bathroom mirror's here. She's standing here. She has eyesight past Jackson to the fucking mirror.
He was between the girl and the mirror.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure when he pushes Lisa
when you take height and angle, and it happened really quickly, that she probably didn't have any. Remember, it's a little girl too. She's not. A little girl's not going to register that stuff that quickly, dude.
I don't know.
A little girl's not going to register. It says bomb on the mirror because they don't have that idea.
Don't fight me. You're all worked up for being so creative.
Hey, Rebecca. You can't just run off like that.
A man went in there.
Everyone shares the same ones. Here, I'll take you the one closer to your seat.
But a lady's in there, too.
Agree to disagree. I feel like she would have said something. And even if not her, he didn't close that door fast enough. Somebody would have fucking seen something. That bothered me
I don't think
so
they would have
much.
seen the mirror. The fact that he forced himself in, yes, somebody would have seen that.
Either way, I have so many problems with that scene because especially if he was forcing himself in the way he is, like no one fucking does anything. Somebody would have fucking done something.
Even the hostess, she just assumes they're doing the Mile High Club thing, and she gets all uppity. It's like, oh, that's not a good reaction. What if the lady actually needed help, you dummy?
It's so many issues with that scene. But yeah, so Jackson wipes off the mirror anyway. He says, fuck it. He wipes it all down. After almost killing Lisa, he about fucking strangles her to death. Yes. So the flight attendants, they don't do fucking jack shit. They're like the worst at their fucking jobs you could possibly be for this whole flight. Because they exit the bathroom, and the one lady just says, "This isn't a motel." And Jackson just gives her, like, the creepiest, just like, sure it's not. And then walks back to his seat, and no one says anything. No one does anything. Just the worst at their jobs. It's the absolute fucking worst. From here, this is where they make their call. She makes the call to the hotel. She gets the room switched. She comes up with the excuse that that the senator can't stay in the room that he's supposed to stay in because they messed up putting a handle on the bathtub. So they don't want him to have that. So give him a whole new room and give him this room that's where Jackson wants it because it's by the bay. Why is it overlooking the bay? Don't worry, we'll get into that. One of the dumbest fucking things I may have ever seen in a movie of this nature. So she does that. She gets it all done. She immediately looks at Jackson and goes, "We had a deal. The room switched. So go ahead, call your guy. Call it off on my dad." And Jackson tells her, "Oh, yeah, no, not until we land. And then they call me that they have confirmation that he's dead. Then I'll call and your dad will be safe." Because, of course, I don't know how she thought that was going to go. Did you really think he would just hold up that deal the minute you made your call? Of course not.
Personally, my first thought was they don't plan on holding up that deal at all. In a situation
no,
like that, you kill everybody anyway. Yeah.
That's the thing, is number one, they're probably not going to hold it up. But also, number two, he's not going to give up the leverage he has so that you could then immediately just tell everyone what's going on. As long as he's got you under his thumb, he's not going to let that go. Use your head. So anyway, Homeland Security and everyone, they arrive at the hotel. They get told, hey, we're going to have to switch your room. And they're like, hey, that's not okay. We haven't swept it, which is fair. However, they still just accept it because they name drop Lisa, and apparently Lisa's the most trustworthy fucking person in the entire world, to where Homeland Security goes, okay, we'll do a quick sweep then, and then we'll get you up there. That's not how that works. There's no fucking universe where an important man like that comes in with his security team, and they're like, we haven't been able to sweep this to make sure it's safe. And someone just goes, oh yeah, Bob said it's fine. He's been working here for like 10 years. And they go, if Bob said it's good, then it must be. Because he's the most trustworthy person in the... That's not how that works. They would straight up make that man sit in the lobby, even though he says, my kids are tired, they want to sleep. That becomes, in security standpoint, the priority is your safety. So it becomes, go sit on the couch and sleep with the kids so we can do the security sweep. Not, let's do a quick one so you guys can go to sleep. No. No.
Not only that, is where a senator's concerned, I don't think they would allow him to have a view open to the bay anyway.
No, regardless. They would immediately not be okay with that.
They'd be like, no, when we booked this event in this room, we picked that one for a reason because it's one of the more secure places in the area. So no, you're putting us in there. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. That's the room we chose. It's the room we booked. You know.
Yeah, no, that's not how security on things like this works. That's not how a situation like that works. This is only for movie. But even for movie, it bothered me because I was immediately like, that's plot convenience, because that's not how that would work in any fucking reality. Holy shit. Yeah, so that happens. They get him all moved. Everything's good there. Lisa, while they were coming back from the bathroom, she was a sneaky one. There's two teenagers that are traveling with what it looks like their grandfather, maybe their father. Who am I to judge? Either way, one of them has been drawing the whole flight, so Lisa swiped his pen real quick. This is where the plane's coming into land. Lisa knows that everyone has arrived at the hotel, and whatever plan Jackson has is about to happen, and that likely her and her father won't live anyway. So as they're landing, she buys some time. She distracts Jackson. It's like, hey, do you think, your guys are going to do what they have to? Like, do you think they're going to have issues? Or, do you have plans after this? Like, just really trying to buy herself a little bit of time here. And the minute that they land, and she sees that she could take her seatbelt off, which, by the way, doesn't necessarily mean that you're docking, so she could have just trapped herself on this fucking plane. Either way, she sees you can stand up now, and she immediately just stabs him in the fucking throat.
Hey, he was having trouble breathing. She gave him a tracheotomy. Okay?
She really does. She gets him right here, folks. Like right above where your fucking collarbones meet.
So now for the rest of the movie to talk, he's got to do the old smoker trick. I want to tell you something. Hell, what the?
So yeah, let's.
By the way, the pin was cool because it was the Incredible Hulk. So let me just say,
it was. Yeah. So she stabs him. This whole sequence of events, I know I've said it multiple times, folks, but I feel like the movie doesn't understand the time that it is happening. This is post 9/11. The next series of events Never in a million fucking years is how any of this should be working. She stabs him. Everyone watches this woman stab him. She gets away. No one, I mean no one, stops this woman. She gets all the way to the back and then tells them, hey, that guy needs help. Everyone just watched you fucking stab this man. She goes to the door, and the minute... Also, this is another thing. They're unlocking the door to, like, because they've docked, while somebody says there's an emergency and they need a doctor. Like, we need all hands on deck to help with this. And the dude's still just like, all right, let me open up the door and everyone can get off the plane. I'm like, no. No. There would be an immediate, everyone stay in your seats, everyone remain calm while we solve the situational emergency going on. Not, all right, let me open up the door, everyone, you're free to go. But apparently that's what this guy does. Is that Lisa fucking books it off this plane. Which is another fucking thing with this goddamn movie. She gets away. She fucking gets away. She gets away. She just takes off her coat and she's a whole new person. She just blends in at the terminal. So then you're asking, well, what about Jackson? He got stabbed with a pen. How's he feeling? It's a fucking movie. He goes into the bathroom and he's checking it. And then the doctor comes up and he goes, oh, that's actually not too bad. You know, it's just like a flesh wound. So Jackson rips it out. And the guy tells him, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. You got, like, vocal cords are probably like, ooh. Jackson, don't give no fucks. Fucking, soon as he hears it's not life-threatening, fucking rips it out and goes.
For you.
Whoa, don't speak. You don't want to damage your vocal cords. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. It's just windpipe, actually. Not dangerous, really. No, don't! Hey!
You're gonna have to fill out a report to the police. Oh, hey! That's my scarf.
Wow.
He also steals a woman's scarf. The same woman who had been trying to hit on him the whole flight, and wraps it around his neck so no one can see the hole. And again,
which mysteriously enough is not bleeding at all, by the way.
He's not profusely bleeding out of the hole in his neck.
No, not even a little. Okay, where it's dribbling down the. No.
Little girl gets her own little like hit on this guy. She throws her bag out in the middle of the aisle and trips him as he tries to run away. Jackson also somehow manages to get the fuck off this plane and no one stops him. In fact, he shoves the flight attendant down and runs over her to get out of the plane. Security goes to the terminal. They pass by Lisa and Jackson, and nobody stops them because apparently nobody gave a description of the two people who just assaulted and ran off the plane, which is not how that works. It's not how that works. They would have a full description of who the fuck they were and what they're wearing. How did they escape, Paul? How did they fucking escape?
Yep, I don't know.
They shouldn't be able to escape this airport with all the shit that is going on.
Not to mention, even back in 2005 or whatever, there were cameras all over the place.
Yeah, that was my second thought. I was like, I know it's 2005, so the technology wasn't quite the same, but I feel like there were still a lot of cameras even in... Because again, post 9/11, I'm pretty sure they put a shit ton of cameras everywhere to always be able to make sure they know what's going on. So again, Mr. Craven, how the fuck did they... I have so many fucking issues with that. I hated that watching this movie. So it's like, that's just, I get it. I get movies got a movie, but like, good God, you guys couldn't have anything that just helped this make a little more sense to how they get out of the terminal. So back at the hotel, there's also a fishing boat that's down on the water. And the security team calls, like, Coast Guard, essentially, to come double-check this fishing boat for their own security reasons. They also suck at their fucking job because they're like, it's just a fishing boat, we're good to go. Yep. Pretty sure if you just did a little bit more digging, you could have figured out what they were actually fishing for, but hey, who am I to tell you how to do your job? So that happens. Meanwhile, Lisa and Jackson, they're running through the airport, just causing absolute chaos, shoving people around, jumping over shit, stealing cars. Well, actually, no, I think she just took her own car, but Jackson had to have stolen a car by something that comes up later that, much like what happened earlier in the movie, just doesn't make any goddamn sense. So anyway, so we get all this. They're running around the airport. Lisa gets away. She gets to her car. As she gets to her car, and they do the whole thing of she's leaving the airport, and Jackson's super pissed. We cut back to the fucking fishing boat. This is where I say, if they had just taken a little bit more time, they would know they weren't a fishing boat. As they reel up, not a fish, but a fucking container that they were just hiding down there. What's in this container, I hear you asking? Well, folks, I'm glad you asked. Let me introduce you to one of the most over-the-top and nonsensical things I have seen in this movie yet. They have a straight-up fucking javelin launcher. I'll put one on screen so you know what the hell that is. It's a rocket launcher that does a very fun thing where it goes up and then it'll go down or straight, whatever it is you got going on. But it's designed to full impact, high density, like just destroy the shit out of things and be very good at it. This is a military grades rocket launcher that just somehow these guys pull up, they aim at the hotel and fire, and no one notices it. Not a single fucking person apparently sees this thing going on. Security doesn't know till the rocket is already on its way, and I just sat here going, I feel like everyone on that beach and coastline is going, the fuck is that? Like, there's nobody's gonna see this going on and think that's normal. They should be getting swarmed by God only knows who.
Let's go! Come on! Let's go!
But movie's got a movie. So yeah, that rocket goes and it blows up the hotel. But you may be asking, if it blows up the hotel, does that mean everyone died? Well, that's where they get you, where they cut back really quick before they fire the rockets. Till Lisa makes a phone call on her phone about to die. She calls the hotel and she tells her assistant, the senator is in danger. You need to get him the hell out of that room. Pull the fire alarm, do whatever you got to, get him out of there. He's a target. So she does. She gets up there. She gets up there just in the nick of time that as everyone is going out the front door, that rocket is about to hit. And then it does. blows up the room. It sends a shockwave. Somehow doesn't kill anyone in its blast zone. The two security guys who like dove in the hallway as before getting on the elevator because the explosion came should be shrapneled the fuck. I'm just gonna put it out there. They shouldn't be walking away fine. So they're all safe. But Lisa still has another concern. She has to save her dad. Because dad is still in trouble. Especially because she knows that Jackson's going to find out that failed. And even if he doesn't find out that failed, she's already escaped him. So her dad is in trouble now. As Lisa's pulling up, she sees the car that's parked across from the house. She checks it. There's no one in it. She doesn't see some creepy guy with a knife. But then she does see him. And this is where Paul is correct. He doesn't have a fucking knife. He just has a silenced pistol. He's just a hitman. Fuck it. Fuck it. What was that about a K-bar? He's got a gun. Fuck, he's got a gun now. She rams this man through the front of the house. I wish there was more that I could say to that. Like, maybe did he not die? Does the hitman get up and try to hurt? No, he's just dead. She just rams this man through the front door. He's dead.
Which is probably the most realistic part of the movie, by the way. Just so you know.
It's yeah. It is the most realistic of like things that are going on. Is if you get run through a house to a front door of a house by a Jeep at full speed, you're gonna die. Makes sense. I'm trying to mentally prepare for how this movie ends because Craven made some choices for the ending of this movie is where I just go, you should have just made a horror movie because you basically made a Scream chase scene for the ending of this movie. And like, why, man? Like, why? We'll get into it, folks. We're at the ending of this movie. So Lisa's dad, obviously very concerned that her daughter just drove through his front door and that there's a dead man now. But she calls the hotel, checks on everyone. Everyone says they're fine. She goes, cool, I'm just going to go over there. Dad walks away and dad disappears. Lisa walks to go find her dad and runs into who else but Jackson. How does he keep doing this shit? First, it was the terminal where he got on the plane before her somehow. Now he somehow got to the house, like, at the same time that she did or before she did. Either way doesn't make sense. Like, how the fuck did he get there so quickly? She didn't see him driving up. She didn't see him at any point when she left. Yet somehow Jackson is just here now. We didn't hear another car. We didn't see another car. Jackson's just fucking in the house.
Hi.
Dad?
Oh, he's not dead. I wanted him to see what I gotta do to you first.
Knocks out her dad and proceeds to chase Lisa with the K-bar knife that Hitman apparently didn't want to use, so Jackson's gonna use it now. It's like, okay, we're just going Scream, huh? We're just Craven's shit. Yeah. You're just going back Scream, aren't you? Just a big 12-inch knife chasing a girl. Okay. he chases her through the house. The house is getting work done on it, so she has a better idea how the house is laid out anyway. As I said, it's literally just, if you've seen Scream, you have a good idea how this whole fucking thing plays out. Because he just chases her through a house, hides behind a couple doors, does a couple jump scares at her. Doesn't matter, because then at the end she finds the silenced pistol anyway and shoots the knife from him. But then she thinks she's going to die because, Jackson's going to overpower her. And then Dad wakes up and shoots him again in the chest. And then that's the end. Well, not the end, but that's the end of Jackson. He gets shot like a bitch and dies. And then her and her dad are like, all right, I guess we'll go to the hotel and check on things then. The cops will take care of this dying man on my floor who was supposedly a giant threat for this whole movie, but he got taken out pretty fucking easy. Not really much of a fight at all. Just saying.
We'll talk again.
Don't move.
Hey!
Get to the hotel. And Lisa talks with the senator, and he thanks her for keeping his family safe, which also, I think technically you have to blame her more than thank her, but who am I? Who am I other than the person who knows she's the reason you almost blew up?
Yeah, missed a point too. After the explosion, they showed her on her phone with her friend, and her friend was walking through the rubble.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it? The floor should be gone. Shouldn't be something to stand on.
Well, she shouldn't even be up there anyway at that point. I wouldn't want to be, because the building may still collapse. Yeah,
there's many problems, Paul. There's many problems in this film.
Everybody should be out of the hotel by that point.
There's many problems with this movie. Many. So movie ending out here is while she's at the hotel, the bitchy customer comes back up and tries complaining to Lisa about our reservation and blah blah blah. So then Lisa tells her she can fill out a complaint card at the front desk, and they go, "What?" She goes, "Yeah," and then you could shove it up real nice, and you can fold it up real nice and shove it up your ass. And then she walks away, and that's the end of the movie.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Taylor. Is there anything we can do to make it up to you?
Yes. Start by cleaning house. Get rid of her. She is completely incompetent.
Absolutely. And cheeky, too.
I see. Well, here's what you can do. You can fill out a comment card at our front desk.
A comment card?
She asked us to fill out a comment card.
You want us to fill out a comment card?
Yes, I do. And after you finish, you can go ahead and just shove it up your ass.
Yep.
This fucking movie. When this movie first came out, people enjoyed it. There's a lot of people who were like, I hope Craven does more thrillers. This seems like another niche thing he could probably do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just go on record and say, I'm glad he didn't do more like this. Like, I'm glad this wasn't something where he was just like, I'm going to do this nonstop, because my fucking God. This movie has so many fucking problems, because again, I've said it so many fucking times in this. I'm just going to start editing them with beeps because I say it too much. This is post fucking 9/11. The shit in this movie doesn't make sense. It's like Craven wrote this movie in the 90s, couldn't get anyone to make it, and then just kind of put it out here. But the story premise struggles because of the time that it came out, where it doesn't quite make sense, and it just doesn't quite work in the way that it would have if this was made any other time. It's also, in my opinion, and now this may be controversial to the people who enjoy it, boring as shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know how you make a thriller movie that's this just boring, man. Like, there's just fucking nothing going on this entire movie. Nothing happens. Nothing goes on. There's nothing to entertain you for the entire fucking movie. It's the most boring thriller I think I've ever seen.
Yep. Even getting to look at like Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy is no great thing.
Like, I love both of them. They're great actors. This movie's just so bad. And even Brian Cox, I'm like, I like Brian Cox. He's a good actor too. This movie's boring as shit. How did we get such good people and make such a bland movie? And that's it. And that's my personal opinion, okay? That's Jokey Pants' personal opinion. That Red Eye is just... The title of this whole video is probably going to be the most boring thriller. And I don't... It's fucking Wes Craven. He knows how to make movies and do them well. Why the fuck did this end up the way it did? It's just... God. It's frustrating.
It's like me with when they have a horror movie and it's PG-13. I write it off right then. I'm like, no, we can't do PG-13 horror. It's just
no. But that's Red Eye. If you want to watch it, you can. I don't recommend it, but that's to each his own. Is it the worst Wes Craven movie? I don't know. That might be up for debate. That could be up for debate. Leave it in the comments how you feel. I think I would rank it pretty fucking low because it just doesn't do anything and it's frustrating as shit. Other than that, we have some things going on. There's well, first off, let me say to all the folks ending out this episode, Jokey Pants has bad taste. We're gonna have some changes with things.
You're letting me go? Oh,
well, Paulie boy over here, he just has a lot going on. So he very likely will be taking a break for a bit, and he has things go on. But don't worry, I hear you saying, but how will we get our episodes? How will I get my Jokey fill? Don't worry, I've already thought about it. I already have some things. I have plans. I have things on my list I can do and fill the time. So don't worry, folks. I'm talking covering extreme dinosaurs. All right? I'm talking we're going to go over the Osbournes. And I'm not talking about I'm just going to talk about it in general. Oh, hell no. I'm going to do episodes breaking down them by season. All right? We're going to have a couple episodes there for Ozman. All right? I'm talking Sir Arthur Conan O'Doyle's Lost World
just
series.
Arthur Conan Doyle, okay? He's not he may be Irish, but he's not that Irish, all right? Stop it.
All right, so we got things that are going to be happening. And then even if besides that, we got the second channel, Jokey Pants. I have the Jokey Pants Gaming Void. over there. I've got stuff that I'm going to be doing. A couple games that I'm going to be recording. I'm currently waiting on Sly 3 to show up because the whole tsunami thing that happened kind of fucked all the weather. And so it's delayed in transit to be determined when the fuck it's going to get here now. So that's unfortunate. But I have other things to do with that. So there will be more. So yeah, there may be some things that change. Paul may have to step away for a bit, but don't worry, we will have things that go on. Unless YouTube completely self-destructs.
I feel like I'm being fired.
Unless YouTube self-destructs itself with some recent news that's been coming out. That if it happens, Oddcast might have to not be a thing anymore just because I don't know how the fuck we'd get anyone to listen to anything.
The age verification stuff that they kicked in over at the UK? Yeah.
Yeah, typically I don't... Because they're implementing that into the US as well. So that's... Spotify's already doing it. YouTube's saying they're going to start doing it now. We'll see. The internet is coming to an end, it looks like, and it's very sad. It's very fucking sad. The Wild West is ending. It's... Anyway, we'll catch you on the next one. And remember to stay on, stay happy. Remember the rules as always. We stay out of the water. We don't dump chemicals into the sewers. Don't prank your friends as a serial killer. Never betray the puppets. Let's see, the rule for this one. Don't
take a sea breeze from a complete stranger.
Yeah. There we go.
Don't drink. Know what you drink. As soon as he orders your drink for you and it is what you drink, that's a red flag. Okay, that's
yeah.
You just look like a sea breeze type of girl. Meanwhile, the bartender's going, nobody orders this shit.
Don't break your friend's serial killer. Don't betray the. Don't take the wrong turn, and if you do take the wrong turn, don't kill the child hillbilly. Until next time, everyone, stay on, stay happy. We will see you whenever the hell we see you. Get out of here. Show's over.